fence near the driveway were askew. Someone had taken a baseball bat or other blunt object to the sharp-edged finials topping her fence rods. Although a few of the decorative pieces dangled precariously, at least 4 were completely severed.
"They got my fence last night, too."
"Who?"
"Hoodlums, that's who. The same riffraff and gangsters we're going to have in this neighborhood all the time if your rezoning plan goes through."
"Now, Mr. Rogers, if we get approval for my sister and her boyfriend to open an upscale restaurant in the big house, it's only going to attract high-class patrons."
"That's what you think. If this neighborhood becomes an entertainment district, it means bars and lowlifes. Look at your fence and mine. Who knows how deadly their malicious mischief will be next time? As it is, I can't find Fluffy."
"Fluffy?"
"That little white mutt that's been hanging around the neighborhood. For the past week, I've tried to get close enough to bring her into the house, but she won't let me. The best I've been able to do is get her to come around like clockwork for the food and water set out on the porch."
Mr. Rogers waved his hands again toward the fence.
"Fluffy didn't touch her food today. If these hooligans you want to overrun our street didn't hurt her, they certainly frightened her."
Sarah bit her tongue. Her opinion on rezoning the neighborhood was diametrically opposed to Mr. Rogers, but they'd agreed to disagree without being unpleasant to each other. Seeing how upset he was about their fences and Fluffy, she forced herself not to fire back a retort. Instead, Sarah offered her help looking for Fluffy if she was still missing when Sarah got home.
"Thanks. If I haven't found her, I'd appreciate that."
There was no divergence of opinion between them when it came to animals and their well-being. An entertainment district was another matter entirely. Mr. Rogers continued to rant about the gangster element that could invade their homes and property if Main Street was rezoned. Sarah tuned him out. She reminded herself that his reluctance for change reflected more than what he was verbalizing. Keeping the neighborhood exactly as it was perpetuated the memories he and his late wife created from the time they built their home across the street, well before Sarah was born. No matter which view Sarah or any of her other neighbors held on rezoning Main Street, they all agreed Mr. Rogers was their neighborhood watch, eccentric, and historian rolled into one. Most also acknowledged his ever-present cane and bow tie represented an era no longer in fashion. Sarah ran her hand over one of the damaged rods. "Considering the damage, I'm surprised I didn't hear anything last night." "Well, the carriage house is set back quite a distance from this fence." Sarah's mother bent and picked up a metal finial lying on the ground. She turned it over in her hands.
"Sarah,"
Mr. Rogers said,
"I called my nephew, Clifford. He's going to come by and fix my fence. If you want, I can send him your way, too."
Uncertain what to do, Sarah looked at her mother, who imperceptibly shook her head. Her mother slipped the finial she held into her oversized purse. "That's very kind of you, George, offering to have your nephew help Sarah. But after she and I finish at the bank, we'll stop by Gus's hardware store. He owes me one, so I'm sure he'll tell us what we need and send someone to fix it at a discounted rate." Sarah swallowed hard, watching her mother bat her eyes at Mr. Rogers. She held her laughter back until her mother and she were safely in the car. "How is it that you live in Birmingham, but you still know everyone in Wheaton and everything about them?" "Don't be so silly. Your dad did so much business with Birmingham and Wheaton folk, I got to know them all. You'll be the same way by the time you get to be my age." "I doubt that. But tell me, what do you have on Gus?" Her mother threw the car into reverse and looked in all directions behind her before releasing her foot from the brake. "I have nothing on Gus. He simply owes me a favor. Besides, it's always better to use a non-family member for house repairs." Sarah held her next question until her mother eased out of the driveway and pulled the car from the middle of the street back into her own lane. "Even if the family member is a neighbor's, not yours?" "Especially. It avoids problems." "Good point. Mom, speaking of problems, Emily and I have been meaning to talk to you about this name business. It's one thing to insist your friends call you Maybelle, but having your daughters use your given name is simply weird. Considering our relationship, we think Mom, Mother, or Mama is more appropriate." Maybelle leaned forward, checking for cars as she rolled through a four-way stop. "Nonsense. My name means lovable.